Portions of TV23's internet provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublet, this is High Plains Today.
Good Tuesday, everybody. It is March 28th, 2017. Welcome to High Plains Today, right here on TV23. You know what? It's raining out there. We'll have a look at the radar and all that kind of stuff coming up. But in the meantime, let's look at happenings. Scott City man was killed in an auto accident yesterday morning after colliding head-on with a semi-truck north of Garden City on U.S. Highway 83. Kansas Highway Patrol reports that 29-year-old Nicholas Coe was driving a GMC Yukon south on 83 at about 7 a.m. when, for an unknown reason, he crossed the center line and collided with a semi driven by 45-year-old Lonnie Lucero of Garden City. Coe was ejected from the vehicle and was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the Highway Patrol, Coe was not wearing a seatbelt. The trial of a Garden City man charged with terrorism and other crimes in connection with the May 31st of 2016 incident in which he is accused of holding Chief District Judge Wendell Wurst hostage has been pushed back to July. Now, the trial for Jason Nichols was scheduled to begin yesterday. Nichols is charged with 2 counts of terrorism, 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of aggravated burglary, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 1 count of criminal theft for allegedly kidnapping Wurst by gunpoint at his home for nearly 6 hours. Gary Harshberger was named the new Dodge City Community College Board of Trustee member last night. After a night's worth of interviews, the college named Harshberger to the board after speaking with candidates. Now, the position was made available when Don Webb resigned from the position. Harshberger will fill the position until January of 2018. He was one of 5 candidates that had applied for the position. Harshberger is a businessman and farmer and is a lifetime resident of Ford County. Well, Earls Engineering of Liberal is informing the public that construction will be completely closing off the north end of Kansas Avenue and from U.S. Highway 83 to Tucker Road in Liberal today until Friday, April 21st. Tarbit Construction will be reconstructing the intersection and installing drainage at North Kansas Avenue and Centennial Boulevard for the new IHOP Hotel and Old Chicago. Now, construction is scheduled to take 3 to 4 weeks. A detour will be set up to route southbound traffic on Highway 83 around to the bypass to Tucker Road and west into Liberal. Northbound traffic on Highway 83 will turn left onto Tucker Road and then into Liberal. Michael Feltman, a Dodge City attorney, will discuss immigration changes under the new administration during a free public event at the Dodge City Public Library. Now, the session at 5 p.m. coming up this Thursday will discuss new priority enforcement and how the list has changed under the new administration. Advice for how to respond to U.S. immigration and customs enforcement, as well as how to respond if you or a family member have a pending case in immigration court. Finally, the rights of families and children regarding immigration and deportation will be addressed. The program will be presented in English and translated into Spanish. All right, as we were talking, you know what? We do have some rain. We have a 100% chance today, by the way, and that's happening right now. We'll be back with a look at the radar, what's going on, and there you can see on the tower cam, we've got rain. Be back with the weather right after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV23 with host Chris Jewell. TV23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
And we're back. You know, we're looking at the Sublette High School over there, and you can see, and as we went to break, you saw me do this. So, yeah, hello, live television. Yep, it's raining out there. You can see it's starting to puddle up just a little bit. And this just started about, this good rain about an hour ago, 45 minutes ago. Anyway, looking at the readings here at the station, 46 degrees. Relative humidity, imagine 98%. Winds are out of the east at 6. Barometric pressure is holding steady. Yeah, we did have a rumble of thunder here at the station. All right, here's looking at the current radar from the National Weather Service in Dodge City. Now there is for Beaver and Texas counties till about 1 o'clock today. There is a severe thunderstorm watch or warning down here. You can see this big thunderstorm that's rolling up through there, heading northeast. Everybody else is getting a good amount of rain as this is starting this system. There's a low out here in New Mexico and Colorado that's coming this way, and it's bringing us all this moisture coming up, heading to the northeast. You can see it's just getting into Garden City. They're probably getting a pretty good bit of rain around Lydia and over around Ulysses right now, okay? All right, now as we move on from the radar, let's look at our current temperatures. Everybody in the 40s and 50s. You get over here to the eastern part of the viewing area, you're not going to see any rain until later this afternoon. But the rest of us are going to have rain. We got a chance all the way up through Thursday. Current dew points, yeah, everybody's pretty much at 98, 100% humidity right now. Winds, not bad out there. You can see out here as this front comes this way, the winds are starting to drop off, but you get on the other side, the winds are still pretty high out of the east and southeast. Yesterday, we did get to 68 degrees. It was very, very nice outside. 84 was the record back in 1988. You walked out the door yesterday morning, it was 30 degrees. 12 back in 1955. You know what? That number is going to change come tomorrow. Here's what we've got on tap for today. 100% chance of precipitation. I love it when they say that. 48 is going to be our high. It's not going to warm up a whole lot. Winds are going to be out of the east-southeast. They're going to be picking up and gusting up to 30 miles an hour. We could get an half inch to an inch of rain out of this storm then tonight. Still, 90% chance, the overnight low, see, it's not going to fluctuate much. 44 for the overnight low. Patchy fog again in the morning till about 10 o'clock. There is another chance of about 3/4 of an inch around the viewing area. Tomorrow night, or tomorrow, still 90% chance, 49 for the high, because as this low comes in, there's going to be a lot of cool air coming with it. Showers and thunderstorms, we could get up to 2 inches of new rain out of this whole deal. That'd be okay. Still hanging around tomorrow night, 60% chance, 36 for the overnight low. Yup, could be another 1/4 inch of rain. Winds are going to be out of the north tomorrow night, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Now, looking at the rainfall map, this is what the National Weather Service is kind of predicting. We're looking at this area, Garden City, Ulysses, Sublette, maybe 2.5 inches. The rest of the viewing area, pretty much maybe 2 to 2.5. You get over to the eastern part of the area, could see a little over an inch. All right, looking at the 7-day, you can see we've got rain all the way in there up through Thursday. We're going to have some clearing Thursday afternoon and into Friday. Then we have another low pressure that's going to be coming in from the west that could bring us another chance of rain on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's look at the storm spotters tonight. Jeff Hutton will be in Scott City at the EMS building, on Wednesday at the Hayes Emergency Operations Center, Thursday in St. John at the Courthouse Annex. Monday, he'll be in Kiowa at the EMS building, and on Tuesday, he'll be back in Mineola at the Civic Center, I'm thinking. Anyway, that's a look at the weather. We're back with the markets after this.
Watch these magnificent honeybees, staying busy pollinating the world and making honey while they do it. But these bees are suffering. The Wi-Fi in their hive is slow and buffers constantly. They struggle to watch their shows on Netflix and surf Pinterest. Bees hate that. So what do you do if you're a buffering bee? You switch to Pioneer Communications, who offer 50 megabit internet that's as sweet as honey. They've made the jump, and so can you. Pioneer Communications, your community connected.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
Remember when you found that thing you thought you'd never see again?
Honey!
All right!
The Kansas State Treasurer's Office doesn't have your old baseball glove.
There you are!
But they do have over $300 million in unclaimed cash.
Yes.
And some of it could be yours. For information about how you can find your unclaimed cash, find us on Facebook or go to kansascash.com.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
And welcome back. I'm joined in studio on this very humid Thursday. Can't you tell my hair is so messed up? By my good friend, and I tell you, she's one of my favorites, Lori Hensley. She's the executive director of the Liberal Area Rape Crisis Domestic Violence Services. LARC DVS is what we're going to call it because I can't say all that more than once. And I have a hard time saying it once.
Good job.
How are you today?
I'm good.
It's good to see you. I haven't seen you. You moved. Okay,
we did.
She didn't, but LARC DVS moved.
We did. the 1st of January.
You have a really cool building now.
We do. It's awesome. We have a really good confidentiality. We're at 111 East 2nd Street, and we're just around the corner. Well, I say catty corner from the Depot Complex.
Yeah.
And around the corner from Sunflower
Washington, Electric and all that.
Washington and 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay,
stop. Yeah, if you're by the depot and you see the old train thing over there on the end, go towards that and you'll see them.
Yep, we're just across the street.
I know. I was thinking 111 East 2nd. And I'm going, oh, and I couldn't find you because I was on West 2nd.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise you, though, does it?
Yeah, we had open house last night. Had about 45 people there. It was
really neat.
Really nice. Did ribbon cutting. But the big thing is we have an area for the children. We have a children's area, and then our child advocate also has an attached office to that area. And then the rest of us all have individual offices. We did not have that privacy before, so to have that confidentiality. And everybody that came in said it's just kind of homey feeling. And it's just that we made sure that the colors were right. Bill French owns the building and did a wonderful job of getting the colors right for us. And it's just serene. It's just nice.
Serene.
It's a good word for it.
Whoa, serene.
It's a good word for it.
I've known you a long time, but I've never known her to use the word serene. Well, that's neat, because, okay, and that's at 111 East 2nd Street. It's easy to find in Liberal. Okay. So, but now you got, okay, so let's tell people, LARC DVS, you cover not just Liberal. I mean, you cover a bigger area than just Seward County.
We cover the 6 counties in the far southwest corner of the state. So we have Morton, Stevens, Seward, Stanton, Grant, and Haskell County.
Yep, go across, up and across.
Yep, 3 across, 2 high.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, now, but you got another big deal coming up in 2 weeks from Saturday?
We do. We have
this is a biggie.
Our 8th annual fundraiser.
8th?
Yeah, we've been doing it for 8 years.
That's good. Okay, so, but you're going to have, all right, this is going to be at 6 o'clock on April 8th, your 8th annual fundraiser. What a coincidence. I can't believe you did that right. But you're going to have a raffle. You're giving away a bunch of stuff. You're going to have a live auction, a silent auction. But the biggest thing is, now for $20 you can get in, you're going to get to eat, right? You're going to feed them. But you have a program coming up, and you're going to have a Julia Laughlin, right?
Julia
Laughlin. Yeah, there's an A on there. And she wrote a book called Author of The River and the Sea.
Correct.
And you were telling me a little bit about her story. Why don't you share that? Because this is, I was like, you were telling me this, and I'm going, what?
Julia's an amazing woman. She's probably mid-50s, if I were guessing. I don't really know her age because she doesn't tell me that. But she was raped and tortured at 21 years of age in the desert in California. And she was the perpetrator. She knew him. And because of the fact that it wasn't just rape, it was torture. And I don't mean the word just rape. It was rape and torture together. It was a lot of trauma all at one time. She very quickly put him through the paces. They found him guilty. And eventually, they found out he was a serial killer. And she was one of a few victims that he didn't kill.
And she knew him, right?
She knew him, yeah.
Okay, so she was familiar with him.
They had a more of what I would call a social relationship.
Right.
But yeah, still. It was very horrific. And Julia, because of the trauma that she had, it took her years to come to terms with her trauma and everything. She saw lots of advocates, psychologists, psychiatrists over those years. But the river and the sea is actually where the river and the sea merge in New Zealand. And that's where she went and really found her peace. She decided to go and stay until she found her peace and found her healing. And she'll tell you more about that, but just, it's a very unique book. She doesn't talk a lot about the rape itself. There's one chapter. The rest of the book is about her process of healing. And I would advise anybody...
that's the important part, right?
Right. And I would advise anybody that has dealt with trauma to read her book, because it has a whole different understanding of how the process of healing happens. And even those of us in the business of working with trauma every day, there was a lot that we could learn from it, because she just has a great way of explaining it. and more than anything, to get in the mind of what happens to a rape victim.
Well, and you and I are talking about, rape and domestic violence, especially though, it's the majority of the time, the major majority of the time, it's somebody you know.
Absolutely.
So this is very, very worthwhile.
Yeah, and we're excited. She's going to come out and actually spend a couple hours with the staff the day before. And she said, I just want to be transparent. I want to sit down and talk to you and tell you what worked for her, what didn't work for her, what would have, as years went by, what could have helped her in the early term. And those are things that are really good for us to know, because as we work with rape victims, and I'm not saying they're all alike because there's not a one that's alike. Their trauma is all different. It's all unique. But to know things that helped her and things that didn't help her. So to be able to understand what was comforting in the beginning and what wasn't can really help us with other rape victims.
And it doesn't matter how much training you guys have had, you're always going to learn something, especially from somebody who's gone through something like this.
Yeah.
Because didn't you say he tortured her for what, 4 or 5 days?
2 or 3 days. I think,
and then he just took her into town and dropped her off like nothing?
Like they'd been on a date, just dropped her off. And she was so broken, but she, being a very smart woman, she went right to the authorities right immediately. She had a SANE exam immediately, so they had all the DNA they needed. They had everything. But still, to imagine what she'd been through for those 2 or 3 days in the desert. And he just pulls up and drops her off at this place and just leaves her.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So now, April 8th, you can see this lady in the flesh, in the live, if you go to the LARC DVS. Now, this is your biggie fundraiser of the year, right?
The largest one we have. Yeah.
Okay. Because you guys are a nonprofit.
Correct.
And so you rely a lot on United Way and donated funds and all that kind of stuff for your existence. So this is a very important thing. It's going to happen on April 8th. This is the 8th annual LARC DVS fundraiser. And you're going to be giving away stuff. It starts at 6 p.m. Julia Laughlin, she wrote the book, The River and the Sea, and she's going to be speaking. So this is going to be a very worthwhile deal, right? $20 gets you in the door.
Right.
And you have raffle tickets that you're giving stuff away. And those are $1 a piece, or you can get, what, 6 for $5?
Yep.
Is that right?
That's correct.
So it's a very worthwhile cause. And if you know of anybody, family, friends, or just an acquaintance that might benefit from coming and listening to this lady speak, point them in this direction, right?
She's also going to be selling books that night and signing books.
Okay.
So that's something I'd say. So, yeah.
That's a bonus also.
Those are bonuses.
This sounds very, very interesting. You always bring me stuff that you tell me stuff. And some of this stuff, and it's out there and it's happening, even though you don't think so. In little old Southwest Kansas, where it's just mom and pop and everybody's friendly, stuff happens, doesn't it?
It does.
It's really too bad.
Too bad, but
yes.
it does.
And thank you for doing what you guys do, you and your staff. And they got a new place, 111 East 2nd Street, Liberal America. They cover 6 counties. Lori, thanks for coming by.
Thank
Always
you.
enjoy seeing you.
Appreciate it.
All right. And stick around. We'll be back with more right after this.
Are you a Kansas college student considering a career in broadcasting? Well, listen up. If in the fall you'll be entering your junior or senior year at a Kansas 4-year college or your sophomore year at a Kansas 2-year college and are enrolled in a broadcast program, you may qualify for a scholarship from the Kansas Association of Broadcasters. Application deadlines May 1st. For details, go to kab.net and click on Student Services. Sponsored by the member stations of the Kansas Association of Broadcasters.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same. But it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
Hey, we just got this in from the Kansas Department of Transportation. If you are traveling on Highway 25 between Hugoton and Ulysses, that highway has been shut down. There has been an accident. Don't know if there's any injuries, fatalities, or anything like that. We'll have more on that tomorrow. But make alternate plans if you're going from Hugoton to Ulysses or Ulysses to Hugoton on K25. KDOT has shut the highway down. All right, let's take a last look at our weather before we get out of here on this. You know what? And yesterday, NFL owners overwhelmingly, well, it's 31-1. It wasn't unanimous, but it was overwhelming. They voted that the Raiders can move from Oakland to Las Vegas. So you can now be a Las Vegas Raiders fan. They'll move in, I think 2020 is when they're going to have their billion-dollar some stadium built. They say they're going to build it right there on the Strip. That'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, let's take a look at our weather before we get out of it. Yep, it's still raining. Temperature still 46 degrees. Relative humidity, guess what? It's 98%. Winds are out of the southwest at 6. Barometric pressure is on the rise. All right, now we do have rain scheduled all the way into Thursday. We're going to have some sunshine. It's going to start clearing up on Thursday afternoon into Friday, but there's another chance of rain coming in this weekend. We could get up to 2.5. Some areas may see 3 inches of rain from this storm. So be careful. Turn around. Don't drown. I know it seems funny in Southwest Kansas, but it's true. All right, go out and have a good day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Something I feel when